One. Oh. Hello, world. My name is Ashley Collins, aka the Aunt of Dragons. So I have a super exciting special guest right now as we prep for LeLeo Code's Winter Fight Fest. So please, if you could introduce us to yourself.
Sure. My name is McGeery. I'm a jiu-jitsu professor. I'm a third-degree black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and my academy is Newport Richey Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Newport Richey / Tarpon Springs, Florida.
So we have to start off with the cliche question. What got you involved with wanting to participate in jiu-jitsu?
Oh, it's a lifelong question, right? So I've been practicing martial arts since I was a child. And so I've trained in various martial arts throughout the years. And I started exploring Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the early 2000s and just fell in love with it and just continued. And it's an amazing art. It's a great practice for your body, for your mind. It's a lot of fun. You meet some amazing people, and I have a wonderful life doing what I do.
So what was that transition to get you from being on the mat to be one teaching people?
That was a natural transition. I've always been kind of a person that likes to help other people, at school and stuff. I was always helping other kids, and I enjoy the teaching aspect of it a lot. So teaching in martial arts, usually you first start out teaching children. There's almost kind of an apprenticeship. A student comes out and it's an enthusiastic and a self-motivating student, and that student, in my case, me, in an example, wants to do more, wants to be more involved with the academy that they're training at. And usually they ask the teacher if they can help out with something. And, most teachers are looking for students that want to help out. They know that it's going to help them with conducting classes, and they know that the student is going to benefit greatly from it. So you start out teaching children, and, you work your way up from there. And so I just, naturally fell in love with teaching and just continued along that path.
So that's what you would recommend for someone who wanted to do that transition to just volunteer?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think if you really want to get good at jiu-jitsu, besides just practicing jiu-jitsu and being on the mat and maybe watching videos and looking at different things and studying, teaching is the best way to get better, because it forces you to really study. It forces you to you don't want to teach bad stuff. You don't want to teach things that are wrong to people. So it makes you think about what you're teaching. It makes you think about the movements in more detail. So it's, constantly evolving in your mind, and then you're putting it into practice while you're helping instruct others. And it makes you better. It's another aspect of learning.
So what are you doing specifically for this upcoming match to prepare your fighters?
So we have a really, really awesome black belt coach named Jay Bahari, who's going to be opening a school in Newport Richey, a little bit further away from mine, named Ethereal. And Jay has been doing a lot of work with the students. They're meeting at times in the morning before classes, and they're doing drills and stuff like that. When the students are in regular class, I'm having them work all their stuff on stand-up. I'm in communication with the people that are going to be fighting in terms of getting their mental mindset prepared. The LeLeo Code Winter Fight Fest is going to be really pretty cool. So he always puts on great shows. So we're really excited about doing it. And, just really the students are just pushing themselves really, really hard.
It's definitely always a very warm environment in a kind of backwards kind of way,
Yeah.
But it's so fun. I love attending those events.
Well, you go to these events, and like, we're going there to compete in a combat sport, and everyone's happy and excited and great to see them. It's kind of a strange paradigm. You're fighting, but you're not really fighting, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I'm like, everyone's so nice.
Yeah, it's really weird. We got all these fighters and all these people with all these really, deadly skills, and they're the greatest people in the world. They're just happy. They're training, and they want to make more friends and practice more. It's an interesting thing.
I was pointing out to Eric actually.
Mhm.
I was looking at you guys Instagram page, and I love what you guys posted on Thanksgiving. Just a few friends beating up on each other.
Our social media person, Bella Michelle Milo, is really good and clever at posting some of those things. You get some really witty posts that she puts on there.
I love it. It was so fun, so fun.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so let's change the subject to something fun. Okay.
Okay.
So with Christmas coming up,
Mm-hmm.
what is a gift from your childhood that you will never forget?
Oh, a gift from my childhood that I'll never forget. Clearly, I've forgotten quite a bit of them because
Oh
I've got to dig deep and figure out a gift from my childhood that I'd never forget. Oh, that's a tough one. Can we choose the next question?
no. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think. I had a really, I don't know. I had wonderful Christmases growing up. There were always tons of toys. I think I remember getting, I got the Death Star one time. Like
Really?
action figures, like the Star Wars people.
Yeah.
When I think I was like 11 or 12, something like that. And they had a play set that was the actual Death Star, and it had different levels, and it had a cannon, and it had the little, the thing that the junk area that closed in on you and stuff like that. So I remember I got that one Christmas, and I spent hours and hours and hours playing with it. So
That's so fun. Okay, so for this year for Christmas, what is something you do not want to see underneath your tree?
oh, a lump of coal.
That's. I remember I did that one year to my brother.
I always tease the kids in my kids' class if they're misbehaving. I said, hey, I'm calling Santa, and I have a number, and he's told me I can call him anytime I want and let me know if the kids are doing good or bad. And I'm telling you, I think I'm going to call him for you guys. Your behavior's not well. And the kids get all like, oh, okay.
That's a good incentive. That's a really good incentive. Okay, so this is something that I've been grappling with, pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
From a leadership perspective and accountability, if one of your fighters fails from your gym, how much responsibility do you take for that loss?
That's a hard thing because you go in there, you prepare as best you can, and you step in there, and sometimes it's your day and sometimes it's not. Every person has an individual training regimen they go through, and they go in with that mindset. They prepare yourself as best you can, and you go in. I think one of the things that I try to do with my fighters or with my students that compete is to be honest with them. If I have a student, let's say, for example, that's coming into a competition, and it's a brand new competition, and I'll let them know, like, listen, sometimes when you go out in your first competitions, you don't know what to expect there, and it may not go your way. You're going to learn regardless. You're a winner regardless. You step in, you've taken the challenge, so you've already won. You have to look at your fight, and you look at your competition, and you have to look at it unemotionally if you can, as best you can, and look at areas where you can improve and where you can where you can build on what you're good on and improve the areas that are weaknesses. If you're not really good at takedowns and you want to get better at takedowns, you've got to focus on that training. So I take accountability in the sense that if I haven't been honest with my people in their competitions and stuff like that, then in that aspect, I failed them as a coach and a professor. But at the same time, they have to be responsible. The person that's stepping in the mat ultimately has the most responsibility, and they have to be the one that pushes themselves. There's an old adage that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
People have to be responsible and admit, okay, I didn't train enough for this fight, or I had other things that were distracting me from really, really focusing on this fight. And, you know, that's just sometimes the way it goes. But I'm a part of the equation, and so I accept my responsibility in terms of, you know, I don't think that I lead people down a wrong path. I think maybe sometimes I'm a little bit like not honest enough, saying, you know, really telling them you didn't do this. You know, I tend to be a little bit nicer to people and soften the blows a little bit if I have to explain to them deficiencies. It's a good question. It's a hard question. You know, I have lots of friends that are coaches for professional fighters, and their fighters, they prepare their fighters as best they can. And then their fighters go in, and I've seen numerous times where the fighter goes in and they're just, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
You don't fight like this. You fight so much better than this. And the person's like, no, I got in there and I just couldn't get out of my head. You know, the coaches can't take responsibility for that. I can't be in your head in that moment that you're in there.
Yeah.
You only can do the best that you can do. And you come out and you look at it and you go, okay, well, I'm going to fix this and fix that. And you try again. That's it. You know, until you get the victories that you want, or you decide maybe sometimes that the competition or the fighting isn't the path that you want to go on. You've done this for some experience. You've gained some tremendous experience and knowledge. And, okay, you've satisfied, what you wanted to do. And you can put that aside and maybe move into a different aspect of training.
True.
Just thoughts.
No, this is you've appeased a lot of anxiety that I'm feeling right now.
What is that?
There's something there's a project I'm working on right now, and it's not where I would like it to be, and I can't stop beating myself up about it. Like, what did I do wrong that I'm not conveying what my vision enough to my team?
Sure. Sometimes just even having the conversation with your team and going, listen, I don't know what it is, but it feels like something's not clicking here and I can't figure it out. And so maybe together we can figure it out. What are you feeling? How are you? That's maybe something that you can do, but do the best you can, and try to find out what is it, get to the root of what is it that isn't happening in the direction that you want it to happen, and try to make the little adjustments to make it go that way. Sometimes you need to just step away and clear your head completely and then come back to it later. Do something that's, like, I can't think about this. I can't worry about this. I'm going to go off and spend a few hours just having fun and relaxing, and then come back and address the issue. But don't beat yourself up over it, right? It's all learning processes anyway.
True.
At the end of the day, that's it.
True. Okay, so where can we like your gym, find it, stalk it, attend it?
I appreciate it. So my gym is open to everyone to come in. You can find us in Tarpon Springs. We're at 805 Live Oak Street, Tarpon Springs, 34689. You can call the gym at 727-237-4401. You can find us online at nprbjj.com. You can search us at Facebook for Newport Richey Jiu-Jitsu Academy. If you're in the area, if you're a jiu-jitsu practitioner traveling through, we have lots of people from all over the country that stop in and because they're vacationing in Florida and they come to the gym, and we just try to be a really open and accepting academy. And we have a lot of we're a traditional, more gi academy, but I have a lot of students that really focus on no gi and focus on we've got one of the best leg guys in the Tampa Bay area, Tommy Carpenter, that's associated with us. Like I said, Jay Bahari is a phenomenal martial artist who's opening a school. We have lots of different schools. Spring Hill Full Circle Jiu-Jitsu Academy. One of our students, Brian Yoakum, is going to be opening an academy. We've got a bunch of schools. I've been teaching in this area since 2010. We've just built a nice family and a nice network of people. Over in the Lutz area, Lutz sort of Carrollwood, there's Ragnar BJJ. He does no-gi. James Donor does no-gi jiu-jitsu. So there's lots of different academies that we have for different people in different areas. But it's really easy to find us if you look. just simply Google it and you'll find us.
It's like an empire that you guys have.
I don't know that I would call it an empire. Yeah, I like it more as an extended family network. I love that. You know, no empires for me. No thanks.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for your time, and I cannot wait to meet you. Is it next week?
It is. It is.
Oh my God!
I'm going to be doing a testing in the morning, and then we're heading out to the fights in the early afternoon.
Are you going to the coffee event?
What's that?
Are you going to the coffee event?
The coffee event? Mm-hmm. Is he doing a morning coffee?
Yeah.
He loves his his morning coffee. No, I won't be making the coffee event, but I'll be there afterwards.
Word. Well, I will see you then. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day and a great holiday.
Bye-bye. You too. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.